Hello there, back again with another video. Um, what did I want to talk about today? Well, I guess what was on my mind is 2K. uh, what does that mean? 2K. Um, well, this is 2K20. Yes, it's the old 2K. I guess that's another thing I wanted to say. People will say, especially now, oh, it's an old game. It's an old game. Why does it matter? Right? But the way you play 2K, regardless of the year that you play it, you are going to play the same way. And what do I mean by that? Um, Spacing. Can you create your shot? Can you get off a good look for yourself? Can you get a good look for a teammate? I think that's what all those things mean, and I think they're the same every year. I don't think it matters. One thing about I would say since 2K16 uh, is the adaptation of inside big men. Like those didn't even exist in 2K15, just like they probably don't exist in 2K21. Uh, but the difference between those two games, from what I can tell, is that 2K15 came out first. We've already been we've already done that. Why would you come out with a similar product years later and then it's supposed to be based off this product with the build system? Um, there's thousands of builds you can make, but people only make the one build. But that's not the point I'm trying to make really. It's just that um, you need to be able to shoot threes. You need to be able to make the extra pass and see when your teammate is open to shoot the three. And maybe none of these things matter to you. I mean, I just can't comprehend how you would play this game to lose. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just me. Um, I sure, I surely, I mean, life you're going to lose over and over again. So I wouldn't want to play a virtual game and lose at that when I lose, and you're gonna get your wins and losses in real life. So might as well try to get a win in this virtual thing, right? I don't know. That's just me though. But what was I saying? uh, let's see. Oh yeah, but I guess 2K strategy. Uh, it just translates to every single game. It's going to be the same thing. Um, so like right now with these people that I'm facing, a lot of them are inside bigs, and I mean if you have a player that's big, big enough, you can just stand in the paint. You can just stand in the paint. I mean, you could just stand in the paint. Like a lot of people, when they face players that can't shoot, don't do this, or they have a build that's just too small. Uh, I would not. I don't ever recommend a small build. The Chris Move build, the 6'1" point guards. Yeah, those have really never been viable on online play. I don't think I've ever made a point guard that's. I don't think I've ever made a player that's under 6'5" ever. I mean, and a lot of people don't like that they can't make Chris Paul's, but uh, if this is your player, why would you not make the best player in all the top 10 players of all time? None of them are under 6'6". I mean, the shortest players are Kobe and Jordan. You know, Bird 6'9", Magic 6'9", LeBron 6'9", Wilt 7'1", Bill Russell's 6'10", Shaq 7'1". They're big players. Like height matters in the league, so height is going to matter in the game as well. So I mean, look at this guy. He's just sitting in the paint. Like this is pitiful. Like it's just I don't understand why people play like this, man. I just don't understand it. Uh, Now he wants to step up because he's in danger of losing the game. So now I can drive. That's why you need to be able to shoot. That's why you need to be able to shoot because when you can't shoot, you're one dimensional, and anybody can beat that. Honestly, like if I'm playing rec, most of the times that I lose in rec is because the center can't shoot. And a good team will recognize that and have the one guy sit in the paint because he can't shoot. I mean, The one thing with screens in 2K, uh, at least in 20, I'm not really sure how this is working on the next gen version of the consoles, but it was like this in 20 and 19. You gotta, it's tough. Um, it's tough to play. Uh, it's tough to use screens. It's a lot harder to use screens than to isolate your one man and get by him because you can just get by. I mean, at least me, I can get by my man at any time. At any time, I can get by him, regardless of the year. 2K15, 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20. I can get by the first guy. So if the second guy comes and helps, that means he's leaving somebody open, and then you kick it to that guy. That seems very simple to me. That seems very simple to me. So, yeah, I mean, this guy has a little point guard. He's going to go down pretty easy. It's nothing he could do. Nothing he could do about this matchup. Uh, I mean, one of the things I like about 20 in particular, like the gameplay in 19 was better, but 20 has speed with ball. So before, the ability to quote unquote speed boost was determined by your ball handling, which I get that. But there are plenty of players who aren't Kyrie Irving, prime Chris Paul, Isaiah Thomas, not like Zeke from the Pistons, not the new Isaiah Thomas, but they're not that level of ball handler, but their speed with the ball, their burst, their explosion is very, very deadly. So I like that introduction in 2K20. I like that a lot because it differentiates between ball handling and how fast you can move with the ball. So, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, one of the things I remember in 2K17, I was playing with some IRLs as they're called. They don't play 2K. They're not. They don't really do that. And all I said was, spot up in the corner, and then you're gonna get a lot of points. And sure enough, they did because I can get by my man anytime, and then someone eventually helps, and then you kick it to that person. Now, good teams won't help; they'll give up the two, but a lot of players will. That's another thing I would say about players that play this game. Stop wanting to stop dunks so bad because they're only worth 2 points. I'll give up 10 dunks and still win the game because the game is up to 21, right? Because 10 dunks, 10 times 2 is 20, right? So I said that to say 2 points don't matter as much as 3 points, and people will always leave shooters. I don't understand why people like to leave the shooters, but they do. I mean, I guess it might have something to do with that. People aren't as consistent as I'd like them to be with shooting. I mean, I'm not even that consistent, but pretty consistent. People aren't even pretty consistent. Like, I would say inconsistent is the right word. Uh, so I think that goes into people giving up threes, making inside bigs, not spacing the floor, setting random screens instead of just waiting to see what somebody will do with the ball. And then if they get by their man, like people can get by their man. It may not be conventional. It may not look the best, but it's not hard to get by your man. It's really not. So if you just be patient and let the person get by their man, and hopefully if your man helps off of them, they will make the right decision to pass you the ball. See, that's how I always play. You know, regardless if I played with the person before or not, I always play. I give the people the benefit of the doubt because ultimately it's going to help me win the game. All I'm trying to do is win the game. If I have to score 40 points or no points, 40 assists or no assists, 40 rebounds, no rebounds, I just want to win the game. There will be games where you don't score as much. There will be games where you score a ton. And people are too concentrated on scoring. They don't play good defense. They don't space the floor. They don't do any of these things. I guess they like watching people do it. There's a lot of, 2K has gotten really popular over the last 5 years. But even though it's gotten really popular, I would say your average player has gotten way worse, way worse. Because back in the day, you could play with random people and go on streaks, and you could do that really consistently. Like that's how I met people, was by playing with random people, and then you meet the good people because good people take note of when you're good. But now, I mean, a lot of the players I play with now, I've been playing with for years, because the randoms are just wow. It's been watered down a lot over the last 5 years or so, I would say. Um, but I'm just hoping that the quality will improve. I mean, do you not see the spacing? Like every time I'll be playing with a group of people, and then the other team is spacing the floor. Like you got two in the corner, or it's either two in the corner for threes, or it's for five. It's two in the corner, two on the hashes, on one left corner, left hash, right corner, right hash, like that order to give the most amount of spacing. Because if you got your ball handler coming up the court, how is he going to get by? Like he's going to get double teamed, and then there's nowhere to pass the ball because you're not in the right space, or like people will be jumbled on one side, so then one person can play three people because you're all on the same side. Like I don't know, maybe maybe I'm maybe I'm getting too worked up, but I mean I'm just trying to have fun and uh, and win the game ultimately. Like I played this game to win it. Uh, no other reason but that. Let's see. So yeah, I mean these guys. I mean so far from these guys that I've been playing, they keep letting me shoot. I don't let anyone shoot. I don't care. I don't let anyone shoot threes because it's a three. You know, as hard as it is to stay in front of people, I don't let them shoot threes. I would say I've been getting a lot of big men because big men love coming down on twos and forcing up inside shots. It's such a boring way to play, in my opinion, is to just back someone down and force up a shot. You know, like that's boring. I think that's one of the reasons why it's getting phased out of the league because it's boring and it's not very efficient. Back back to the basket shots are not very efficient. Most great scorers that had their back to the basket would face up or drop step or do something, which I take that back. Um, People that face up from like mid range area, very efficient. People that go down and bang down low they have an advantage. They're either very tall, they're big, they're explosive, they're fast. Like uh, Shaq could do that. How are you going to stop Shaq from doing that? How are you going to stop Wilt from doing that? How are you really going to stop David Robinson or Hakeem from doing that? Those are some big guys, very skilled big guys. But for the most part, it's more efficient to stay along the perimeter and be able to shoot. I mean, that's been proven. 33%, a 33% 3 point shooting 33% on your 3 point shots as a team is just as productive as shooting 50% as a team, as far as like the production of points. And the NBA league average right now is 36%. That should tell you something. That should tell you on what's valuable right now. You know, you got to be able to shoot. I can't believe people make inside big men still. Like, there's no reason to because, I mean, my guy is just as big as an inside big man, but he can shoot. And I'm look at that. I just put that guy on the ground. Look at that. So now he's going to play off me. He doesn't want to get put on the ground anymore. And you play off me, I'm going to shoot. That's what I'm going to do. It's that simple. It's a simple method. I'm going to hit these shots. If you play off me, I'm going to hit him. He plays up like that. Go down low, get a dunk. Screens are very hard to use, man. They're very hard to use. I have two builds now that I could use with screens, but it's just a way harder way. It's a way harder way. It's a harder method. That's all. I'm done. Now I'm done now.